Let's go ahead and get this started off right. First and foremost, I like to give all praises and highest honors to Yahweh, which is the name of the Heavenly Father in Paleo Ancient Hebrew, and to Yahweh Shai, the one you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. His name is Paleo Ancient Hebrew. All right, double honors to the apostle elders, a great millstone that rule well. Salutations to you few brothers and sisters out there, the hopeful elect that's holding it down and enduring these last days. It's Brother Aryaga from the Grand Rapids, Michigan camp, here with another nifty lesson. Let's get into it. All right. Every man's desire, or every real man's desire. I had to put real in there because these are the things that a real man desires in a woman. Okay. And I have to be clear about that because you got men out here, and then you real men out here, then you got males. Just because you're a man, or just because you're a male, doesn't make you a man. All right, what makes you a man is the desires of your heart, which is your mind. All right, everybody think that the heart, when the scriptures is talking about this muscle in your chest, when it's really talking about your mind. All right, the Hebrew word there is lav. So whenever you see that in the Bible, it's not talking. I just feel it all in my heart and shit. You know, I feel love. I feel it's talking about your mind. Okay, and every real man has a desire to a real woman. Do you understand that? So what I want to show you today is a couple examples of what a real man's desire is and what a real man's nightmare is. Because what you see in this world that we live in today is a disconnect between men and women. And we tend, especially in this camp, to get on the statistics, all right? Because it's 2/3 of our men that's not shit. 2/3 of our women that ain't shit, okay? And so we tend to jump on both classes. But let's give you a prime example, right, of what that looks like for a real man's desires. Okay, because right now in this world, one thing that is not sought after or really known, which is strange to me, is what a real man desires, he wants. You know, I saw this thing and they were going and they were asking these women, what does a man want? What does a man want? What does a man want? And the answers had me tripping because I was like, of course, all of them. So I just want pussy. You want men just want ass and titty and vagina and shit. Like, nah, like for real. I'm talking about real men. We're not just talking about a male. Now, do we love some good box? Oh yeah, oh yeah. But what it comes with, whether it be the lack of peace or the benefit of peace, because if you can't add to a man's peace, that shit is dead. Okay. A real man doesn't desire that. You can have the fattest ass on the globe, the most supple titties, you know what I'm saying? Prettiest feet. That don't mean nothing. You can look like an Instagram model all you want to, but if you don't add to a real man's peace, that's not what the fuck we want. We don't desire that. Okay? You get all that and then just be like, damn, man, Lord, please get rid of this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. That's just keeping it 100. All right? So what I want to do is go into the scriptures real quick, and then I want to go ahead and I'm going to show you this video because men, hey, so we always promoting you need to tighten up. Now's the time, okay? Like old girl, she gonna put it like it's time to be a real umbrella. You feel me? Out here, we got a lot of brothers out here, and you'll understand the analogy in a second. We got a lot of brothers out here that's umbrellas with holes in them. All right, and then you got real brothers out here that are real waterproof umbrellas that's basically keeping the rain off of these women and off of our families. Whether we get acknowledged or not, we don't look for acknowledgement. We just look for peace. I'm going to go ahead and get this little scripture real quick and then we're going to get straight to it. It says, this is in Ecclesiasticus, in the Apocrypha, in the King James Apocrypha. And this is Ecclesiasticus 7. and 19. It says, "Forego not a wise and good woman, for her grace is above gold." Because see, especially the men of Great Millstone, we got this stigma as an Israelite that we hate women and that we women bash and all of that. No, we just call it what it is. Because honestly, in this society today, a lot of these wicked hoes get a pass, and real women is overlooked, and they try to lump them in with them. What it is hard for a man. See, it's so many of these wicked women. It's hard for a man to discern a good woman between a wicked woman because hell, but it's hard for a man to discern between a real woman and a transgender now. That's how real this shit is now. You know what I'm saying? Let's be 100. Let's keep it a buck. It's fucked up, but it's so necessary because we work as a unit together. And when a real woman come together, man, that's a powerful unification. Okay? So when you get a woman, she has to recognize what she has as well. You understand? Because she will forego that real man as well. And this is the season for a woman to really be in contact with her femininity. It's necessary. So let's get straight to it. But I keep yapping and talking and shit. Let's do this.
God made Adam a suitable helpmate. And he made that helpmate not because she's weaker, but because God has given men a capacity and a responsibility that women do not have. And we have to be honest about it. We can say he's not a man, he doesn't know how to lead, he doesn't whatever. There's still a capacity inside of him that God did not give us as women. And one of the biggest examples that I can give of that, imagine it's raining and you're in New York City. And if you've ever been to New York City or in France and it starts raining and people start selling umbrellas on the street, those $5, $10 umbrellas, they're not worth much, but they get the job done until you get home. Imagine you have that man. You have the man that gets the job done, isn't anything special, but he gets the job done. That man, no matter how little you view him, is made to handle the rain. You were not made to handle the rain, but you were made to hold up that which can handle the rain. If you didn't have that umbrella, you would come back home smelling like what you were poured on, what poured on you. When a man comes back in as that umbrella, he gets dried quickly, water repellent, it falls off of him, and no matter how equipped you thought he still was built for the rain. The difference also, some of you want that Neiman Marcus umbrella. Some of you want the wood handle. Those things are heavy. And if God gave you a man like that, then you have to be the woman that can hold up that man. Because an umbrella that is not used, it can be for the rain, for the sun. It shields, it provides shade. It allows what's under it not to be touched. We are the vessel, not weaker. We are the vessel that was meant to let the one that God gave us be held up and used for what he was made. So now as a wife, I want to say, I don't want to get wet. I don't want to sunburn. My skin's not built for that. So instead, I'm going to let the man be who he was meant to be. And if God gave me, which he did, my man's about as heavy as this table. That means God made me capable of holding him up. If my man is not doing what he was made to do, it's because I, as his wife, am not holding him up. One thing I will credit myself to is that man can come and do what God has him to do, because on the back end, he is being held up and held down. Not about me, but to say this about submission. If you think submission is because the man is doing what you believe is right for a man to do, then you've missed your assignment before God. God will bless your obedience as being a wife. The Bible's full of it. Ephesians and Corinthians in the Old Testament. Just start looking for them. And I please read Love and Respect. It will change your life.
Mm.
Submission does not make you a weaker vessel. It just makes you the part of the machine that is needed to function, but entrusting somebody else's responsibility that's what they were made for, to do what God has made them to do. So I value submission. Submit one to another is not in the same way. He is not going to submit to me the way I'm going to submit to him. That's not even biblical. As he submits to Christ, so I submit to him who has submitted to Christ. If God has made the man the head of the house to love his wife as he is to love the church, God is going to hold him to a standard. God is also going to hold you to a standard. And it's not going to be dependent on, did you value him, or did you do right by him because he did right by you, or you did right by him because you did right by what God commanded you to do. You will see a dynamic transformation inside of your home when you begin to obey his word. Submission is our safety as wives. Submission is your safety as a wife. Whether you have, because I want to believe if you married him, he has good intentions. Even if he doesn't have, or if you're with him, or if you love him, it's because you believe that's a good person, even if they don't have it together yet. Keep trusting God, but allow your heart to not be tainted if he's doing right by you. God will make him do right by you. God knows how to reach the man that he gave you so that you don't suffer and cry, so your child doesn't suffer and cry, and so you don't live in a house that is just like what you've always seen. You will be the chain breaker of marriages and relationships and love in this life if you just do it God's way.
Amen.
Let her cook. She out there cooking. Had to put that hand out. Look at that. All right, and you see who she's talking to. All right, and I ain't trying to be fucked up. Just being honest. You see who this message is for when she's saying this. It's for all these women. Yes, but you see who she's talking to. I don't know I don't know what the show
One
is.
thing
I don't know what I don't know if it's like a podcast or a show or something like that. But you know, you see who she's speaking to. It's to all the women, right? But mainly to our women, okay? Because 2/3 of our women are in bad condition, man. 2/3 of our women on this side is not gonna make it in this when the Lord returns. Period. 2/3 of our men ain't gonna make it. You feel me? Because they just males. They're gonna have to come back on the other side. You understand? But our women are some of the main ones that need to hear that message. Because there's a great void and disconnect between the so-called black man and black woman that shit is embarrassing. It's embarrassing, dog. Because our women are representation of our men. And so all they see when they look at us, you know, now that we have these podcasts, a lot of our men they're starting to see, okay, men have a good head on their shoulders. We're no longer just represented by thug niggas and YNs, young niggas, all right? Now we starting to get proper representation. They start to see, hey, these men, you know, that stereotype they had, you know, it's starting to come out. We're starting to come out of that as this world continues to deteriorate, this kingdom. And now that veil is being lifted, they look at a man and they judge their nation based upon how in order their women are. And when they look at us, unfortunately, they see the ghetto hot mess, the trip, the trifling, because now the spotlight is on our women. It was always on us as men. And they was always like, all these niggas pants sagging and can't get a job. And niggas out here in the streets just trying to have sex and, you know what I'm saying, knock down hoes and all of this. And now that stigma is coming off of us. And you got women around the world that are looking at these so-called black men like, shit, I gotta give me one of those. You feel me? Like I'm serious, man. They tell us come to Thailand, the Philippines, Japan. You know, our desire, our value is being sought out worldwide. Now, in the lesson that I did before this one, I had to point something out in a statistic that they found on Google. And the research that they showed is that the most undesirable man and woman is a so-called is an Asian man. Nobody's just out here chasing after or desiring a Chinese or Asian man. And you know, around the world, nobody is chasing after a so-called black woman. Now, with statistics that you can put that into Google. What is the most undesired, right, race of woman? And it'll tell you, man. They the law, you know. And so these curses are no joke. These curses are upon us. So it's understandable. But then that accountability comes in as we in these last days. So it's not an excuse. You can't just keep using that same excuse. Well, I didn't know and I wasn't. The time is now for men and women. You better get your shit together now. You can't pay attention to the condition of this world. You're going to be in bad condition when the Lord starts making this place fall apart, which is already happening. Don't be like, oh, well, I'll get it then. Like, no, you ain't doing it now. The Lord said he coming back like a thief in the night. And if you ain't got that shit straight, and the Lord ain't going to deal with you, he going to put you down. He don't care about your gender. He don't give a damn how old you are, babies. Hey, Ezekiel, the 9th chapter is called work for a reason. But I'm going to read 1 Peter 3:7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife and unto the weaker as unto the weaker vessel. And I want to point that out because she was saying not as the weaker vessel. That's one thing I did want to establish, because yes, a woman is weaker than a man. Period. This is why we got to treat you with a special way. You know what I'm saying? It was a message that I kept seeing and I thought it was real dope. It says it's a man's job to respect a woman, but it's a woman's job to give a man something to respect. Hey, straight up. So if you not giving these men something to respect, your ass out, your titties all out and shit, you out here ghetto as hell, always fighting somebody, trying to fight men all the time, and when nobody want to deal with that for no weaker vessel. We are not scared of a woman. A real man is not afraid of a woman, okay? Because that's not the natural order of things. Stop trying to fight these men and then be looking crazy when these men knock your ass out. Stop. We don't want no strong, independent woman. Who the fuck told you we wanted that? I'm nigga shit. I don't know about you, man. I need to give me a strong ass, independent ass woman with a mouth and all of that shit. We not Al-Azhar. I got a thing for women with a mouth. No, real man don't have no fucking desire to that, because that shit is terrible, man. It says, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. So if you don't want your prayers to be hindered, look, man, a man can make it by himself. I'm be honest with you. A man has the ability in this world to be by himself. All hell break loose, lights go out right now. A man can figure some shit out. Okay? But a woman by herself, that's as vulnerable as an infant child. Because you got other men out here that's hunt. They gonna, hey, shit, lights is out. Let me go find. Hey, they don't give a fuck. You are vulnerable, man. So the rain is coming, and you better get yourself an umbrella. And I'm not talking about just settling for any old thing, because you can't do it by yourself. I don't know. That feminist shit is crazy. You cannot do this by yourself. The rain is coming, man. All right? And it's going to rain on your head, like Hoppo said. And it's not going to be a pretty sight. Oh, I'm going to just be wet and drenched. Drenched. And if you ain't prepared in the elements, guess what? Being wet and drenched is the difference between life and death. Your ass will freeze to death being cold out there in the wilderness, man. Because you wet and damp and shit. Get sick and then you get... Look, come on, man. This is necessary. Proverbs 18:22. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor of Yahweh. All right? Every man desire, I don't care who you is. The reason why we settle for just being alone or just knocking off freaks and shit is because we understand if you've ever been in a marriage or relationship, you comprehend what comes with it. Like just recently, I'm just looking at it, the situation with Birdman with his that nigga is a fucking sodomite anyway. But Tony Braxton, her and Birdman were going together for 18 years, just dating. He finally fucking gets married to her, right? Then they got a divorce. Then he signed back on to it. You know what I'm saying? 2 months later, and they got back together. And then they got, I don't know if it was divorced or remarried again, but the point is, within 2 weeks of that marriage, she got a divorce. And he's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I thought I had a real one, you know? But he found out the hard way. Now half of his fortune goes to her. Men are tired of that. That's why we don't want to get married in this kingdom. Who the fuck wants to deal with that? I don't work hard, and here you is, oh, I deserve half of that because I was with you. What the fuck? No, that's not how it works. I was holding you down in your weakest moment. You don't know, to be honest with you, most of women don't know a man's weakest moment. You just assume that because you may have been down. A man is supposed to go through his times when he's down and then he's able to come back up again. That's part of making us resilient leaders. So don't sit back, oh, well, I deserve this because I was with you. You don't deserve half of, no, that's not biblical. That shit ain't biblical at all. But you know that's the way of America. Okay? That's the way of America, and that's the way that they promote it. This is Ecclesiastes 25 and 26. Let's go up a little bit. This is Ecclesiastes 25 and 24. And I gotta always point this point out because as terrible as it's made out to be that men are, y'all just terrible and just y'all overpower women and y'all like damn, masculinity is considered toxic in this world. That shit is crazy. But masculinity is the thing to keep you safe. Masculinity is the one that built these buildings, built this house. You see what I'm saying? It says Ecclesiasticus 25 and 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all died. Let's get that shit. Let's put that out there right now. Through a woman we all died. When we listen and we listen without, with stars and twinkles in your eyes and shit, and you don't use the better judgment that the Heavenly Father gave you as being a logical leader, you can be led into some bullshit. And look at us now. Because what did Eve do? She listened to that serpent, and it wasn't no fucking apple. I don't know where they got this dumb shit from. That's all of that is propaganda. Eve bit the apple and shit, though. What the fuck? No, it said the fruit. You know what I'm saying? And even the Apple logo, what is it? It's an apple with a bite out of it and shit. No. She took on the philosophies that went against the verbal law, statutes, and commandments that the Heavenly Father gave Adam. Due to that, he listened to it, he took those on, and started going off. And at that point, we fell away from the Heavenly Father. So, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. That's why, as being leaders, we gotta, you just oppressive, you don't like listen to me. No, what I'm doing is, if a real man, you with a real man, he's going to consider what you're saying. And if it goes against any ideals as a leader, that he's not, the bounds that he set, that he's not going to pass, because if he's established a household over your head, y'all got food, drink, water, y'all safe, y'all warm, children is straight, that was established through his leadership. So if you start just doing, and I know this for a fact, as a man that was married about 12 years, let me tell you something, I know this as a fact. And then you get to listen in, let's do this and try this. And then, as a young man, and you don't know what the fuck is going on, especially if you didn't grow up with a father, you fuck around and find out the hard way. And you get to listen in and try, let me try this, babe. Let me, and then you end up all fucked up and you lose your house and your children out there on the street. Now, as a leader and a man, you looking bad. Your family looking bad. So we have to consider and process what you're telling us, because we understand that as the weaker vessel, you are more prone to be able to be possessed or overtaken mentally or even to be manipulated, because the scriptures show these things. You know, it's not just me just saying this shit, but the scriptures show it. Reality shows it. Experience shows it. So there's things that we have to do. No, baby, I'm not gonna do that and shit. You might get mad and trip for a minute, but there's morals, boundaries, and ideals that we have to stand on. And if we gotta look like the bad guy, shit, that's just what it is. But if it's gonna continue to keep what we have and have established for us in whole, then that's what we have to do. This is why we often looked at as a bad person in this society. It says, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. So when a man say, hey, baby, I don't want you going out there with your ass and your titties out, you can't wear that shit. Then in this society, it's seen as oppression. Or you just oppressing her, that woman. And then the main woman to speak up ain't got no fucking man. Hey, bitch, you ain't even got a man. Shut your ass up. That's what gets you in trouble. That's why we say as a weaker vessel. Because another man ain't gonna tell me about my woman and my wife and family. Hey, man, shit, she always listening and shit, man. Man, fuck that bitch. You need to get one with. No, I'll be like, nigga, man, I can't chill with him no more. Unfortunately, a lot of our women let other women that don't have a fucking man fuck up what they have. Whether it be their mama, their sister, who the fuck ever. Their best friend, or what they think is their friend. Because trust me, any one of those individuals wish they was in your position. Misery does love company like a motherfucker, man. Alright, understand that. It says, if she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. There's no, I get half of your shit anywhere in there. The Heavenly Father is not with that. That's some bullshit, man. Okay? But that right there, what that woman was saying, that's what a man desire. That's the shit we looking for. Okay? When you get caught up in all that other stuff where you just like, man, I need a woman, I need love and shit, all of that shit, dog, you don't even understand what love is. What y'all get caught up on is that googly gaga, bubbly feeling and butterflies shit that you get when you first get with an individual. But then reality strikes and y'all start going through ups and downs, and then that's when you're gonna figure out if you want you able to weather the storm. Okay? Because like I said, a lot of these cats out here, I understand this. It's a lot of motherfuckers out here that got a man or got a male, but they just an umbrella with holes in them. Okay? They an umbrella with some fucking holes in them, and they getting rained on right now. All right? Yeah, I go around again, but hey, I'm just trying to tell you something that makes more sense than what they promoting out here in this world. Let me go on and get to this next video too. Probably should have just did that. All right, let's get to the next one though. Now, this is why we always stay guarded. In the world, you know, as wicked as this,
and tell the truth.
We are constantly in a position to be guarded as men and as leaders, man. You know, we have to be, because shit like this happens to us so much. So much. This happened to me before. You know? And luckily we figured that shit out. We nipped that in the bud early. Baby was only like 1 and some change. This is the type of shit that'll get you killed, women. Don't do that shit. Okay? Check this out.
Mr. Monzel, and tell the truth. Mr. Monzel, in your lie detector test, you were asked, did you have any sexual contact with any of your 3 daughters? You said no. And the lie detector said there was no deception.
Yes, they got it.
How does that feel for you? And that your daughters know it.
Well, I felt they always did know it.
You felt they always did know it.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't speak it because?
They didn't know no better. They wasn't told no different.
Miss Yvonne took a lie detector test and said, did you make up or exaggerate any stories with the intention to harm Monsell? She responded no, and the answer was deceptive. Then he asked you, did you say something to the effect of, I'm going to make sure you're never happy again? She responded no, and the answer was deceptive. So Miss Yvonne has acknowledged that her story about you touching your children in a sexual way was not true. So Miss Yvonne, is there anything that you wanted to say to Mr. Monsell?
Why didn't you fight for him harder if you knew you
Excuse
didn't
me.
do it?
Oh shit. This is what the fuck we are talking about. God damn. You just got caught lying for 25 years to your wife, to your children. Telling them that your father, oh, we had to leave your daddy because he was raping y'all. That's her first response, though. Why ain't you fight hard? Let me tell you something, man. As men, we have to hold back every day. Every day. Because I'd have lost my fucking cool up in there, man. I'd have been like, bitch, this stupid, bald, look at this goofy bitch. I'd have went in, man. I'd have lost my cool. How dare you? When you just got caught up in this fucking lie, how dare you? We had to go through all of this. Your daughters is all fucked up in the head. They thinking, oh, damn, my dad been raping me. So now they have this issue in their mind where they thinking they've been believing all this time my dad been sexually abusing me. They have, and one thing about the mind is if you think of something long enough, even if it's a lie, your mind can make it into a truth. And it could, because you can keep thinking about that because they thought it was a truth that was being taught to them. Now they're formulating in their head and thinking like, well, damn, maybe I was, and I just didn't remember. And then they start imagining things, and then your mind starts hyper focusing on that, and you start developing triggers from that. Now they got all kind of sexual trauma from something that never happened to them because this goofy ass bitch sat there lying. And look at her. She looked like a can. Look, man. Look at this motherfucker. Face only a mother could love. He sat back though, and he's like, hey, I'm not sitting here saying it's a beauty contest and shit like that. But this is not a great looking woman. Even if she probably looked better in her past. But my point in being, he loved that woman. And then she did this shit because she wasn't happy. She concocted this fucked up lie. This is one of a man's greatest fears. Becoming vulnerable and letting the woman in and giving his life, his everything. Only to be destroyed from the inside out, man. We work so hard to protect ourselves from life and all this shit that happens. Protecting us, ourselves, and then protecting our family. And now we let our guard down to just some shit like this. And this shit happens more than you fucking know. This is why 2/3 of our women gotta be destroyed. Next you know it, they gonna get up a time to find out, damn. It might be Tyrone. It might be Ray Ray's, Uncle Rudy and Ray Ray's baby or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Did you say something to the effect of, I'm going to make sure you're never happy again? She responded no, and the answer was deceptive.
Now look at that look on his face. She said you can get up and choke this bitch at any time. You won't get in trouble. Do you think he would have held back? No. This is Proverbs 6:34. For jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. I just seen some earlier on my news feed, right? And it says something to the point of, I don't see it now, of course, but it was basically saying how the father was fucked up because And but he because he was messed up because he found out that the child wasn't his, and he had been raising that child, and he was so hurt. And he's saying they were saying that the article was saying he was just so hurt, and he was saying how hurt he was, and it was messed up. He gave everything to her before he shot her the fuck up. Yes, he's going to prison, but understand, this is why we have laws, statutes, and commandments to guide us, and that's a sin unto death. That's adultery. A woman that committed adultery against a man going out and sleeping with another woman while he's married is not adultery, unless he sleep with another man's wife. What's adultery is a woman when she's married sleeping with anybody. That's a form of adultery, and that is a sin unto death according to the word, man. You've been sitting here putting everything into the raising the child, protecting her, protecting the baby. Find out it's not yours. That's why I read that scripture. You know, jealousy is the rage of a man. For jealousy is the rage of a man. I don't know about all of this. Hell hath no fury as a woman scorned. That shit ain't in the Bible. A man's not afraid of a woman. Nowadays, yeah, a woman can get a gun and shoot a man. Let me tell you something. Or stab a man. Let me tell you something. Back in the day, they didn't play that shit. Why? Because a woman is a weaker vessel. Let me go and let this play.
So Miss Yvonne has acknowledged that her story about you touching your children in a sexual way was not true. So Miss Yvonne, is there anything that you wanted to say to Mr. Monsell?
Why didn't you fight for him harder if you knew you didn't do it?
And what is it that he could have said that would have made you not believe the lie you were telling? Miss Yvonne, you told the lie. It was a lie, and you told it. And you got to own it.
I'm sorry. I need you to say that you did not rape your girls. I need to hear it come out your mouth the way I've always heard it, Ma.
I apologize for accusing you of raping them. Please forgive me.
I'm sorry. I know I'm trying to let this play, but god damn, that was the most unsincere apology I've heard in a long fucking time. 25 years of a serious lie like this, and that's how you apologize. That's how you know somebody just don't give a fuck. See, a woman know how to hurt a man in a completely different way, which I'll show you in another one, a video after this. Please forgive me. I bet forget. Hey man, you better be lucky he didn't just get up, just pick up your chair and break it on her face, man. Cause that shit is 25 years. You ruined your whole family for some bullshit. Sitting up there looking like one of them fucking sardines off of SpongeBob.
Please forgive me. Raping them. Please forgive me. I apologize.
Just the look of not giving a fuck. If that had a look, it's this goofy looking ass hair-hatted hooligan right here.
For accusing you of raping them. Please forgive me.
You don't have to forgive him. You don't have to.
I cannot accept your apology because it's not sincere. Deep down, I know that you didn't believe that. You knew I had no sexual desires for my children. For 25 years, this thing has broken me.
Yeah, it stopped right there. But when a woman cries, it's usually because she has no. A woman cries when she, a good amount of the time when she needs help, she needs assistance, and the woman's tears can garner that help a lot of the time. But when a man cries, which is a rare thing, a real man, it's because he is broken. He's at his wit's end. He has nothing. Nothing. When he said that broken him, how many nights did he sit crying because of this fucking lie? People in your family, people around you, your daughters, everybody telling everybody, yeah, he was out there raping them. You know, telling how many people thought that he was out here rape all for 25 years. This nigga just be out here raping his daughter and shit, man. Please forgive me, man. Hey, jealousy of a man, I'm telling you, that's the reality that we coming into again. That shit is not gonna be tolerated, man. And that day, the Most High gonna put that on that spirit of vengeance on them dudes, start fucking y'all up. Then you gonna be like, oh, okay, if you can't see why, oh man, we're just so oppressive back, they did this and that after some of the scriptures that I read, right? I'm talking about men. Now, I'm not talking about 2/3 niggas that just ain't shit. Because once again, you give them access to you. So you get to fucking with all of that, that's what you're worthy of. But oh, they was just so oppressed. Hey, man, look. No, they just set and established all of this around you and to maintain it. There's things that we cannot allow you to do, or it's going to fuck all of that up. Give not woman liberty to gad abroad. You know? Let's look at this. Now, this is the words of a so-called gay woman. Not a dyke, of course. What do they call them? A stud. All right. Just to back up what you're saying, that's a woman saying this, right? Check this out.
Y'all, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's something going on out here, and I don't know if it's my algorithm per se or what, but like, it's a lot of studs that's going back to men. I'm seeing a lot of content about women telling their stories about how they going back to men because women are just too wicked out here. Like, these women aren't just, they're not over their gay phases and they're just like, okay, fun's over. Like, nah, like they like, nah, I really do like women. I want to take a woman serious, but you know what? These women are so wicked out here, bro. Like, if I'm gonna be with a being, I might as well just pick the lesser out of two evils. And they going back to men. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing enough content that's pertaining to that. And it's just like, ladies, this ain't a wake-up call to y'all to get y'all stuff together. This ain't a wake-up call to tighten up and maybe heal and be better people. Like, guys is saying the same thing about y'all. Studs is saying the same thing about y'all. And studs are women too, just in case y'all forgot. Like, other women with sense and other men are saying the same thing about y'all. Y'all don't want to get y'all stuff together? Because I know me being done wrong by women, I know that incentivized me to be a better woman, because I don't want to cause nobody, man or woman, hurt that a woman did me, because that pain is a pain. Like, women be ruthless with they joint. Like, a man can hurt you, but a woman...
What the bitch say? Please, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. 25 years of all them fucking lies and everybody believing that this man, because she kept saying it, oh, I have to leave because he's raping his daughters and all this shit. Like, thank God he didn't get no time for that, man. How many men is behind bars off of the false words a woman has said, man? I guarantee you it is not very many women behind bars because the false lies a man has said. But vice versa, I've been locked up before, and there's plenty of cats up in there that's back there because of what a woman said, and it didn't even fucking happen. And if he would have went to prison based off of what that bitch was saying, understand this, them men would have caught word, you raping your daughters, my nigga? I'm gonna rape this nigga then. I'm gonna rape him. Or they'll sodomize him, stick a broomstick or something up in his ass, something. Kill him, destroy him completely, and he ain't do shit. Nothing. Let's let that cook again.
Want to cause nobody, man or woman, hurt that a woman did me, because that pain is a pain. Like, women be ruthless with they joint. Like, a man can hurt you, but a woman will hurt you even more, dog. Like, it's just like, y'all are savages. I ain't gonna hold you. And y'all do it with such no remorse. Like, y'all just shrug y'all shoulders about it, like, all right, whatever. Like, Like, no remorse.
Mm.
Nothing. It's just like, man, like,
No
man,
consequence.
woo! I can't even put it in words. I gotta make a sound effect to describe some of y'all's wickedness, dog. Like,
Woo.
man, like, y'all know how bad of a person you gotta be, how bad of a relationship partner you gotta be to make somebody consider doing a whole 180 in their sexuality? Man, ladies, y'all tighten up as a whole. You need to tighten up because y'all gonna look up and ain't nobody gonna want to mess with y'all other just what's in between your legs. And I know y'all don't want that. I know y'all don't want that. I know y'all don't want that. You look around and don't nobody want to take you serious. And if
Ecclesiasticus 25:13. Give me any plague, but the plague of the heart, which is your mind. Like having dementia, Alzheimer's, you just don't know what the fuck is going on, right? And any wickedness, but the wickedness of a woman. Like she said, y'all can be completely heartless the way you go about that shit. Oh, well, man, a man. The Bible say otherwise. You even got a stud saying otherwise. Y'all know how to hurt a motherfucker well beyond what a man can hurt you. So a man can fuck you up physically, but y'all can fuck his spirit up. I'm not saying a man can't break a woman's spirit too, but she gotta let him in first. A man let his guard down, let him in. She can destroy him or have him destroyed just by some shit that come out of her mouth. Ooh-wee.
they do try, if they are trying to mess with you, it's really just to get their rocks off and then go on about their business.
Yeah.
Is that really what you want to be used for? Y'all don't want to be loved, right? Y'all don't want to be loved. Y'all don't want to be treated right. Y'all don't want none of that. Y'all just want to be reckless, do whatever y'all want, and then y'all expect for other people to just take it, tolerate it. And then if they leave you alone, you flip it on them like they did something wrong.
Yep.
I done heard so many women be like, only the strong can survive with me. Why somebody gotta be strong to deal with you?
Right.
Why can't you just be strong enough to control yourself?
Right. In your mouth.
Like, y'all don't be hearing y'allself when y'all be talking, man. But yeah, that's really a thing, ladies. Tighten up. Cause these tomboys, these studs and men is really getting tired of y'all. Y'all need to tighten up. Y'all need to tighten up. Because honestly, quite frankly, if women as a whole tighten up, not only will the relationship and the dating pools will get better, society will get better too. But you know, we gonna all keep being in hell. Just as long as women keep being in hell, society gonna be in hell. Everything gonna be in hell. So yeah.
And one of the ones she's mainly referring to, which I'm pretty sure is because of how this stud, you know, because of course this is just wickedness in general. Woman ain't supposed to be no fucking stud. But nonetheless, she's directly referring to so-called black women. I'm pretty sure that's what she's accustomed to dealing with as a black woman herself. Y'all are in the worst condition right now. And then, these niggas don't want shit. They don't want to. No, we don't want to fuck with you because we tired of being hurt or overlooked. I'm talking about real men. For street niggas, for hustling ass niggas, for scamming ass niggas. We being overlooked for them. And then when we get a piece or we get in there, we just being treated like shit, get cheated on to the fact because a man can't cheat on a woman. I don't know what cheating, that shit is just a concept in general. You better listen to what Shahaz Ali was saying. Because a man can have multiple wives. You just can't deal with another man's wife. And if you say you believe in the Bible, you better open up your motherfucking ears. Because we coming into the times where that's gonna happen, whether you want it to or not. You can say, well, I opt out. Motherfucker, you be out there in that rain without an umbrella, you ain't gonna last long. And it's shame another woman is stood and had to fucking tell y'all about yourselves, and it still ain't being heard. This is Isaiah 32:9. Rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. All right? Ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. To go and to tell Your children, that the man that nurtured you, that love you, the only man. Let me tell you something. A real man, a real father, he will give his life for his children. No, there's no other man out there on this planet. Like you might have like, an uncle or a brother, but number one on that list is a real father. Ain't nobody gonna give their life for your children but that man. And here it is, you cutting and severing them ties and throwing them to the fucking wolves, man. Shit is crazy. Oh, because you felt a certain way, because you wasn't happy and shit. A lot of motherfuckers, a lot of women that had many households destroyed because they was no longer happy. Not because he wasn't doing this and he wasn't holding it down and it was for just because you didn't have a feeling anymore. Happiness is an emotion, a temporary emotion that comes and goes like the wind. A fleeting emotion. It's not a fucking destiny. I'm finna go to happiness, man. Shit, I got 2 tickets to happiness. It's not an island some fucking where. You know what I'm saying? Shit is crazy, dog. And it happens, studies show it, that it's happening more often than not. We are in the last days. Like it says, rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make ye bare and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament. When you lament, that's not rejoicing. You rejoice. The opposite of rejoice is lamenting. Low, broken, down. Like the script, like the book Lamentations. We was going through pure hell at that time. Similar to what we're about to come into next. It's like we've been going through in this captivity. It said, they shall lament for the teats and the pleasant fields for the fruitful vine. Okay? You're going to lament because you're going to be thinking about how good shit was. Like, damn, a lot of them fuck up something that they have and then look back and be like, damn, I was happy, my children was happy, and I fucked that all up, and now I got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Might as well get some benefits from it, child support and this and that. Like, god damn, dog. Shit is bogus as fuck, and it's real fucked up, but it's the reality of the situation. You know what I'm saying? All right? I had to point that out through the scriptures, man. Yeah, I did 2 lessons back to back on it, so what? Because it's at a dire, we in a dire time right now. And the time to get it is now. It says, Ecclesiastes 25:16. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. Man, I can keep going on and on. This is what the Bible is saying, man. See, it's not the shit they teach you in church. Or tell me about a man. We always telling you about a man. They the first one to get locked up, killed, commit suicide, get killed, commit suicide. You seeing they judgment come right before your eyes, more than you would see that with a woman. But now that's changing. The scales is tipping because all hell's finna break loose. It says, that's why it says Ecclesiastes 25:21, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. You're not just supposed to be out here like, hey, she got what I like. She looked the way I want her. You know, you got to really pay attention to what that woman has in her. You know, Tazariak, Captain Crunch had made a point, man. A good point. You know, you're supposed to consider, you got to have penis discipline and vagina discipline. You got to know, hey, you looking at a woman, you like, hey, this, and in the real world, you're supposed to look at her and be like, this is a woman I can see myself with for the rest of my life. So I'm going to choose her. Not, oh, she got big ass, big titties. I'm going to just hit her and just toss her to the side because I know she a hoe. Unfortunately, In this kingdom, we got to think like that now, especially if we well seasoned and we know the game. Or at least we keep ending up like my man's and shit, looking all hurt with them eyes, some daggers in his eyes and shit, because he got fucked over for 25 years. Ecclesiastes 26:2, a virtuous woman rejoices her husband, and she shall fulfill the years of his life, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. That's one of the benefits of having a virtuous woman. But it's so far and wide right now, right? That's an anomaly. That's why they call it a unicorn. I'm trying to click on this and this goofy ass shit. Uh, that's Satan, man. Ecclesiastes 26:2. I'm gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way because Satan is up in this piece. Still didn't come up. Anyway, it's I'm gonna just use a couple more scriptures and I'm gonna get out your hair, okay? Because this needs to be heard, especially for young men that don't know what's up, okay? Titus 2:3. The aged woman likewise, let's go into it. This is Titus 2:1. But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine. Truth, sound doctrine. This shit is sound, it makes sense, it's true, we can back it up, it's true, right? That the aged man be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, and patience. That's what you women should be looking for. The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers. Oh shit, not false.
Like y'all just shrug y'all shoulders about.
Not false accusers like this demon.
And tell the truth.
Okay, not her. Like this demon right here, this demon witch. All right, that's a false accuser. The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness. No false accusers, not given to much wine. Don't nobody want no, woman that's always given into drinking or smoking a lot. Nobody want to deal with a man or a woman that's like that. That shit is just stupid. Teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober. That's why these young women aren't sober and they out here fucked up, because a lot of them didn't have a woman to teach them how to be that way. And if they did, the world is filled with so many individual women that's on that vibration that they got, snatched up and carried off into it. That they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands. That has to be taught. See, you got to see that. We got to grow up in an environment that's cultivated and seeing these behaviors. Most of us have never grown up in a household with, especially of these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Natives. You ain't growing up in a household cultivated in a father and a mother, a nuclear household, as I would say. We don't know what that look like. So you have to learn how to love your, like I say, that they may teach the young women to be sober and love their husbands. You have to be taught that. You can't just be, I'll figure it out when I get there, and then wonder why your shit is crashing out. To love their children, to be discreet, chaste, right? Not wearing this revealing clothing and out here shaking your ass. Keepers at home. Keep your ass at the crib. That's how, hey, man. We create this beautiful, nice environment for you to live safely and to be cool and be held down. What the fuck you still running the streets for? that they may, it says, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. All right. It says, young men likewise exhort to be sober minded, in all things showing thyself a good pattern of works and doctrine, showing uncorruptness, gravity, and sincerity. So we all have roles to play in this thing, man. All right. But I had to point that out because, to be honest, man, a lot of individuals is not seeing that, and it's not being cultivated in a way that we're able to see it, because a lot of us didn't grow up in those households, and so we don't fully understand what that look like. And since we don't understand what that look like, how can we expect to be able to reciprocate that same energy? You can't, man. You really can't, because it wasn't shown to us. So we're in a constant state of learning. All right, but I just spoke enough. You feel me? Do what you will with it. Hey, study to show yourself approved. Okay? So I pray that you was edified by some of the things that was said. Just had to bring some clarity. Like I said, I know we get on these women a lot, but that's what it looked like. We're not going to just point out the bad. We're going to point out the good too. And we always getting on our men. So with that, I pray you were edified. All right? Do your research, stay circumspect, and get your household in order. It's the best way we can do it. So with that, I pray you were edified. Until the next time, I bid you shalom.